Welcome to Lecture 8. The original video on ICT's channel is 4 hours and 22 minutes long, so you can imagine how much time it took to create this summary. I watched it at least twice, summarized the key points, and even used my own charts for analysis. This video is just 8 minutes, so I hope you watch it all the way through. Please leave a like, drop a comment with your appreciation or feedback, and share it with others. Your support really motivates me to keep going, especially since I'm not getting much reach on these videos. If you're interested in the PDF, check the description below. We've swept the relative equal highs, with the price moving above the new week's opening high. There are several areas we should monitor. The fair value gap here and another one over there. We'll place a Fibonacci retracement on this large wick. When the price fails to break the 50% level of the wick, it suggests that we might take out the short-term high, with our terminus being the new week opening gap. A swift rejection from the new week opening gap indicates that the price might retrace and take out the 50% level of the wick, with a focus on respecting premium PD arrays. This dotted line marks the 6 o'clock opening price and the 5 o'clock close. Interestingly, the 6 o'clock open was at the same price as the 5 o'clock close, meaning there was no new day opening gap. Instead, this dotted line serves as a crucial reference point. The price broke below this opening price, retraced to the fair value gap, but did not touch the lower band, then fell further, taking out the 50% level of the wick. Now, let's examine how the price traveled to this level. The opening price, marked by the dotted line, initially saw the price take out the sell-side liquidity. After that, the price returned to the opening price, forming a fair value gap. Here's something new I learned from this lecture. Notice this wick. Let's also place a Fibonacci retracement on it, and observe how the candle bodies respect the first quarter. Price could go to second and third quarter, but close below 50%, signaling potential further bearishness. Now we have this up-close candle, and ICT wanted the price to retrace to the lower part of this candle, taking out the lows from this large wick. Instead, the price retraced to the 50% level, but did not exceed the highs of this up-close candle, then reversed. With this displacement, we have another entry pattern, the institutional order flow entry drill. The price fulfilled our objective by crossing the low of the wick. Whenever there's a swing high or low with a large wick, we should apply a Fibonacci retracement to gain insight into whether the price intends to continue its trend or flip it. In a bearish scenario like this, at turning points, we want to see whether the candle body inside the wick closes above or below the 50% level. If it closes below and we're bearish, this suggests further downside potential. We anticipated the price's upward movement and identified the terminus at the new week opening gap. After reaching the terminus, the price reversed. Look at this second bearish candle. It took out the short-term low, validating this candle and the previous one as an order block, specifically a bearish order block. When the price falls below the order block's open, it signifies a change in the state of delivery. A change in the state of delivery occurs when the price opens, moves above, takes out the relative equal highs, and then takes out the 8:30 a.m. high. Major highs and lows formed during significant news events, or at key times, contain a lot of liquidity. The price took this liquidity, reached the new week opening gap, and reversed, indicating a shift from bullishness to bearishness. As the price continued downward, it didn't touch the fair value gap and fell further. If we had waited for the price to tap the fair value gap, we might have missed this entry. However, note that this fair value gap is within a bullish order block. Additionally, observe the sequence of higher highs and lower highs, with the higher high forming after the liquidity grab. This pattern makes the 3 down close candles a breaker, and the price respected this level without reaching the fair value gap. While it may eventually reach the fair value gap, the price shouldn't close above the 50% level of these structures. When we anticipate reversals within a price range, every PD array in the premium zone can act as an inversion gap. Expanding this concept, observe how the CE consequent encroachment of this inversion is being respected. One more observation. The price briefly moved outside the lower band of the fair value gap. This occurred because the price returned to the open of this candle to balance the entire price swing. Regarding another fair value gap, note that ICT has marked this differently by including the closing price of this candle, which isn't a classic fair value gap. In previous streams, ICT mentioned that wicks are also part of the gap. Therefore, when a significant wick is present, we'll apply a Fibonacci retracement and expect the price to close below the CE of this wick during retracement. We now extend this fair value gap and expect the price to revisit this level. However, if the market remains bearish, we don't want the price to fully close above the upper band of this inversion fair value gap. See how everything aligns. The CE of the wick rejected the price, and the inversion fair value gap prevented the price from closing above its CE. The dotted line marks the first print of today's price. ICT also emphasized that every aspect of his trading revolves around the market maker buy or sell model. This narrative is always present when ICT places trades. He explained these concepts in the 2017 mentorship, discussing the buy and sell sides of the curve in detail. Observe how the price reached the last quarter of the quadrant, retraced to the halfway point, and then dropped to zero. This could have been an excellent institutional order flow entry drill. How far could the price go after taking out the low of the wick? We can measure the entire range from the wick's low to the high and add another quarter to that, giving us a negative 0.25 deviation as the target. Now, we'll shift our focus to turtle soups. There are two types, one that reverses the price delivery, like we saw here from bullish to bearish, and another that continues within the existing trend where the price hasn't yet reached the terminus. For the first type, let's consider an example. We have relative equal highs formed right at the 8:30 news driver. We want these highs to be taken out, with the price reaching a predefined significant level. In this case, the new weak opening gap. The price reached that level and displaced quickly, resulting in a change in the state of delivery. The second example occurs within a price leg, where we expect the trend to continue in the same direction. For instance, in a bearish scenario, we want the price to return to the fair value gap. What happens? This takes out the high of this candle. This is also a turtle soup. Sometimes the price will just tick slightly above or below and continue to fall. In other cases, it will close the entire fair value gap, and we should be prepared for this. The reason behind this? Look at the wick of the first candle responsible for creating this fair value gap. Now that we understand that wicks are also gaps, we'll apply a Fibonacci retracement to the wick. The price should retrace to this level, but not exceed the 50% mark. We can place our stop loss 2 ticks above the CE of this gap, which could be very helpful for those looking to minimize risk. ICT emphasizes that the first priority is to identify where the market is likely to go based on logical levels. If you're unsure of the market's potential direction, it's better to focus on tape reading or take the day off entirely. Mastering this skill is crucial, as it helps you stay focused and avoid being influenced by market noise or taking impulsive trades. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with your questions or feedback. Your support helps the channel grow, and I appreciate every like and comment. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more in-depth trading insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.